When they're outside and they're running around on the playground, they're learning balance, they're learning self-control, they're thinking on the playground, they're observing on the playground. We're learning how to share, we're learning how to spin, you're upside down sometimes. And those are all things too that we have to keep the playground safe.
One of our safety concerns and issues at the Learning Center is getting the strongest, the safest, the longest lasting ground cover for our preschool. And when we rebuilt our playground, we looked for that very surface. And the one that stood out most was a rubberized type surface. It seemed to be the most safe and giving.
Well, lo and behold, I found out that the state of Missouri, through the Department of Natural Resources, had a program to offer grants for recycled vehicle tires products. And it was open to supposedly everybody to apply.
So Missouri imposes a fee on the sale of tires. So anybody who buys tires in the state of Missouri pays this fee, whether they're religious or whether they're not.
And she said, well, Mr. Glenn, let me make it clear, we do not discriminate against anybody applying. There were 44 applications, and we scored 5th.
We were higher on the list than other applicants, and we weren't awarded the grant.
We got a letter that said, well, unfortunately, you're a church and therefore you didn't qualify for the grant.
There is a big problem with that, and that's because what's happening here is the state is denying religious organizations like Trinity Lutheran's preschool a generally available public benefit. So in other words, they're conditioning the receipt of a public benefit on being religious or not. So they're disqualifying this preschool purely because it's a religious organization, and that's unconstitutional.
It's not church. We don't have lessons out here specifically on any kind of religious aspect. It's just a playground where kids are playing.
There's no reason to say that when you have two playgrounds next to each other and the same neighborhood kids are going to each playground, that we're going to protect these kids because it's a secular daycare, but we're not going to protect these kids even though they're from the same neighborhood in the same area because their daycare happens to be operated by a church.
And the Supreme Court has repeatedly held that to be religious does not disqualify you from receiving these generally neutral public benefits.
The issue here is that children are children, and their safety is important to us, and the children should not be treated as second-class citizens.
We want to make sure that religious organizations and religious people and people of faith are not treated worse than everybody else.
We are hopeful that the Supreme Court will do the right thing and fix the double standard, because kids are kids and all kids deserve a safe playground.
1, 2,